Loudmouth ghetto girl. Loudmouth ghetto. Loudmouth ghetto girl. Loudmouth ghetto.
We might just get hit with the Rico. That's how they get on my people. They take somebody like Huey and they make them seem like Nino. Speaking the truth can be lethal. Too much profit in being deceitful. Said he was selling the cure, so they gave his ass the placebo. Look what they did to Baraka. They still got a price on the Sada. And I still got bros whose only goals is copping a 9-6 Impala. I'm trying to spend with my folks, trying to make sure none of us go broke. Like I'm at the line and it's overtime.
I wanted to say something to express my anger, but in this space, I don't even feel no anger, man. I just feel like a deep sense of like overwhelming. Go ahead, y'all go ahead. Overwhelming sorrow, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even be mad right now. Because they killed this dude, like, in this parking lot. Rest in peace to all the people killed by an unjust law enforcement system. Fuck 12. Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of the Loudmouth Ghetto Girl podcast. My name is Amber Hasan. I am the Loudmouth Ghetto Girl, and I am here with Travis. I don't know your last name, so I'm gonna let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
I go by Travis X. No, I don't. But
I was gonna be like, straight up.
Travis Dennison, local Atlantean, I guess. Well, I'm actually kind of new to this area, so you know, it's been a wild experience since I've been here. I've been here about 2 years, and it's been a fun experience, ups and downs, and this is one of those down times right now.
All right, so earlier today, I went by the Wendy's that Rayshard Brooks was murdered at after falling asleep in the drive-through line, and I just went to kind of see, you know, just to see. I just went to kind of pay my respects and just, you know, I'm here. It's 4 miles away. I felt like I needed to be there, and when I got there, I was so surprised at how overwhelmed I was with emotion, and it was mostly like sorrow. It wasn't even like an anger. Like we had talked because I was gonna do some stuff for one of my videos, and he was like, I want you to say something, and I wanted to be like, you know, like angry and blah, and I couldn't even do it. I couldn't even really finish what I wanted to do. It just like it brought me to tears, and it like I couldn't even stop the emotion. And you know, and then we got back, and you had said that you went as well, and that the experience was heavy for you too. So can you kind of give me some of how it was for you?
Yeah, so it's crazy how I got there. This morning, my frat brother and I, we were volunteering, giving out some food in the community, and we just happened to kind of be in that area. We were done and heading back to our hub, and I saw University Drive. So I know exactly where that Wendy's is, and so I just like pulled off and do you want to go check it out? I have not been there since the incident. So going back there it was different. Like it just felt different. Like this before even pulling into the Wendy's, it just felt different. Like the area as a whole. So I parked up the street, then we walked down, and like the closer you got, you start to see like little burnt bushes. So it's like you can tell like something happened here even before you get to the point of where the incident, ground zero, if you will. Like you could just tell something happened here. You have can I curse?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you have fuck 12 on like different businesses across the street. It's like whoa. So then you pull up in the parking lot, and then you see like the flowers laid out for them, and you see the candle lights and just the matter of fact, the thing that surprised me the most was like the sayings that are on the wall, like the stuff that people spray paint. I thought it was gonna be like all hate.
That just
But it
gave
was,
me
like, very
goosebumps when you
yeah.
just said it, because like seeing that and seeing like this is how we have to memorialize people.
Mm-hmm.
This is how we have to grieve, and this is, you know, people doing it out loud and in a collective, you know, that collective energy of mourning. And another thing that struck me, the resiliency of Black people. Like, you got people out here selling T-shirts.
Yes.
And, you know, like...
Networking.
Networking and, like, you know, that we will take a funeral or, you know what I'm saying, and turn it into something totally different. Like, we took, you know, pig guts and turned them into chitlins. We took nigga and turned it into our word, you know, and it was just... To me, that energy of it as well was like my people gonna always make a way. You know what I'm saying? We gonna always hustle. And but the smell, that was what was like, to me, like it was so overwhelming. That smell of like, you know, it was like Wendy's, but it was like barbecue Wendy's.
It definitely had a charred grill smell. That was very that actually to me added to the effect of it. Like it kind of gave it another dimension. Like, you know, that something happened here. Like that there was just a presence of like energy. I remember, you know, before we even spoke about it, I had text my homegirl and told her like, I went by there, and the energy was just weird. I didn't know how to describe it. I didn't want to say like it was a bad energy, nor did I want to say it was like a good energy. But it was just weird. Like
it was heavy.
I've never like
So
felt something like that before, and it didn't. Yeah, like you said, didn't bring me like anger, but it was like, you know, this just didn't need to happen, bro.
It was
like every
almost
time
like
I listen,
the wind got knocked out of me. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was there, it was just like I had to sit down.
Yes.
Like
yeah.
And I had to feel that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, you know, sometimes you go somewhere where the energy is quote unquote bad, and it's like I gotta leave. You know what I'm saying? It was like I had to sit with it. Like
it was
I
quiet.
had to. Man, when we was there, it wasn't quiet.
It wasn't quiet?
Man, they was making noise.
Okay, yeah.
So
you
went earlier.
Yeah, I went earlier. It was quiet. There were people parked up there. There were a lot of people there for sure, but it was quiet, man. Like, you know, you had somebody playing music, and that was pretty much all you heard. Like, it was that music, and there were like a few reporters. You can kind of see people setting up. The police. I felt like to me, this feels like all this is orchestrated, because like they arrive at certain times. You could see them like parked off. When we pulled off at the exit, they were rolled up, like maybe 4 or 5 of them, like on the side of the street. And it's like, you know, are y'all waiting for something to happen? Like, what do you expect is gonna happen here?
And it's almost like you would think with everything that's going on throughout the country, police departments will be like, hey, let's kind of chill. You know what I'm saying? Let's not shoot no niggas today.
We don't need
we don't let's
need
not
them
tase
around.
Anybody. Let's not beat anybody with a baton. If they not trying to, you know, kill you, let's not kill them. Let's, you know, let's try to. And it's not. It's like black people being found hung right now in crazy numbers all over. Black people still getting beat by the police for nothing. Unarmed black people still being shot by the police. And so that, to me, adds to that orchestrated feeling. Like, you know, what y'all trying to do? What y'all, you know, what's up? And which brings me to the next thing. Like, what I saw, though, was people, like, if they felt like somebody was, like, I guess, like an agent or wasn't supposed to be there, they was, like, checking them. Like, hey, nah, you can't, we don't want you recording over here.
Nah, facts, yeah.
Go over there. Like, go over to the other side. We don't want you recording over here. This ain't your area.
Yeah.
You know, and so when we were there, the reporters, for the most part, stayed across the street. The people, there were only 2 people who were not, you know, black people in that whole space, because it was like, nah, you ain't even supposed to be over here. Like, this ain't for you. And so that was telling to me. When we pulled up, what I noticed was the other buildings that were boarded up around.
Yeah.
And we had just went over to that area the other, like, 2 weeks ago, looking for food. And so when we went back over there today, we was like, oh, this is where it was at. You know, like we didn't even realize we hadn't put two and two together. So I just really wanted to get, you know, somebody else's account on it, because man, that heaviness was so, it was so real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was so like tangible. Like I can't even, you know, I still haven't processed it all. I still haven't worked through it all. And it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't like a bad, it wasn't a good, it was just like there. It was like you could feel it. Wasn't nothing you could do not to feel it. And it was like I needed to feel it. You know, I needed to understand that. I needed to be present in that. And it's just, you know, I don't want to have to go to any more of these memorial sites.
It don't make no sense. Yeah. I think a lot of people, because I hear a lot of debates happening right now, about like, you know, well, this is gonna have to end at some point. What does it take to end this and this and the third? To me, I mean, honestly, the only viable option is defunding the police, like really just dismantling it and allowing communities then to create their own, because not every community needs to be policed in
Which
the
is what
same
Minneapolis
way.
is doing right now. They're actually letting the people have a voice in how they're going to be policed.
Yep.
Which is like having to be policed in itself is like a crazy, you know, notion. It's like I understand law enforcement. I understand the need for it, but why am I, if I get pulled over for speeding, why am I being put in handcuffs for speeding? Speeding is not an offense you can go to jail for. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, you get a ticket and you keep on going. Why you putting me in handcuffs? Why you pulling me out my car? And I think a lot of it, you know, is tied into the fact that 9/11 and Homeland Security co-opted our police force, and it militarized. We were, you know, so scared of these quote unquote foreign entities, and so we gave hand grenades and riot gear to police officers that some of them got a GED high school diploma, and that's it. And you know what? 30 days worth of training. No training in psychology, no psychological exams, none of that. And we giving these people like weapons of, you know, community destruction. And then we expect them to act responsibly with it.
Listen, just to piggyback on that point, so I'm in IT, and at one of my trainings, we had an instructor who was a former police officer. He actually said that he was kind of forced to resign, which is why he went into this path of being an instructor in this high level course of IT. I mean, it's a CISSP. For anybody that knows anything, they know that's like the gold standard.
Yeah.
And he's training us on this course, and and you know, we asked him, you know, tell us some stories, or, you know, tell, you know, that's in the third. And he was like, man, you know, he's a white guy, by the way, and he was telling us all these like stories about these people who just do the dumbest frat boy mentality. And one of the things that he knew was a sign was when he started teaching folks there, and they started telling him, if someone grades too high in the academy, you got to let them go, because they want people like that to fit into that culture. If you're too smart and intelligent, think for yourself, white, black, or other, they don't want you in their system, because they know they can't control you.
Wow,
like, this is not a common thing.
That you don't even want free thinkers. You don't want somebody.
The military does the same thing. They want somebody that they can control. You can fall in line.
Not to, you know, I was in the military, and in boot camp. That's the one I felt like a fly on the wall at times. It was like people just jumped into stuff like so gung ho, and they was just really, it's like, you know, almost gang type, you know, psychology to it, to where it's like these people need friends and need a family. And so I come from a family. I have tons of friends, you know what I'm saying? And it was like I didn't need that, so their needs of that was being met by this group. And I mean, I do look at it from that standpoint. You know, having been in the military, even though I wasn't in combat, I understand if I was in the foxhole with this person and they saved my life, even if they are the most racist person I've ever met, they saved my life. So then when they do something stupid, I try to have their back because they saved my life, and I feel like I owe this person. and that group think and that, you know, that psychology behind it is horrible.
I do appreciate that analogy, but I feel like in reality, you would not just let them
Oh,
get
hell
away
no.
with
I'm
it.
not going to do it.
No matter if they say no, that's what I'm saying. Most people, and that's the thing about it, most people wouldn't see their friend, their homeboy, their compadre, like their migo, that's my dog, you know what I mean? Do something wrong. Yeah, I'm going to ride for you, but yo, I'm going to tell you afterwards, yo, you fucked up.
Yeah. And I'm not going to sit there with you.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit there.
We're not going to do this together. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and it's just
the
that
accountability just isn't there.
there is
And
no
that's
accountability.
that's the
And
problem.
if I see that if I do this, nothing's going to happen to me.
Man.
You know, my dad used to always, you know, quote, absolute power is corrupting absolutely.
Absolute,
so if
yeah.
I feel like I have this absolute power, and that's the only place in my life I have power, I'm really making $35,000 a year, still eligible for food stamps and shit like that. But when I go to work, I'm king.
Feel
You know
good,
what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I can do whatever and
Yeah.
nobody can touch me. Like that messes a person up. And if you look at it like domestic violence with police officers, child abuse in the household of police officers, alcoholism, drug abuse, all of these things are super high within the police community.
Very much so.
Super high.
Very much
They
so.
don't get tested for it, and the police unions get them out of a lot of the
Talk
stuff.
about the unions.
You know, the police unions get them out of it. So they're, you know, and that's the fight that some of these municipalities have, is that I can't just fire them.
Mm-hmm.
Because the union is going to go here, and then, you know, and then it's just going to end up this legal battle. They're going to be out on, you know, administrative leave, and then I'm going to have to bring them back to work.
Yep.
Or they can just go to another force because this police department in South Dakota does not communicate with the police department in Seattle or what have
he
you.
told us all that. He told us about the whole situation behind ticketing. Like, so their base salary is around $32,000 to $35,000. But they can take home up to 60 because of like overtime, even up to 100 depending on where you are. So for them, overtime is ticketing you and having to do paperwork. Overtime for them is making sure that, hey, I gotta transport this
Yeah.
you know, person somewhere. I gotta do, you know what I mean?
I'm taking my time with this.
They'll find stuff to do. That if that means harassing, or I gotta watch, I gotta surveil this community.
One
What you
thing
surveilling?
that I noticed that was different when I lived in Puerto Rico about the police, just, you know, and I'm not in any way saying the police in Puerto Rico are perfect, whatever. They ride around with their lights on
The
at
blue
all
lights.
times.
The blue light?
Yeah,
Yeah.
at all times
Yeah.
they have lights on. So I don't have to guess. The police are, I never saw them hiding, trying to catch anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, never. And that was what was so striking to me, because you will see police on the highway in some of the most, you know, covert crevices, and you like, how did he even get up there, and how is he gonna get from up there to come get a car?
Black on black writing. So that
Black
means you have
on
to get
black
close
writing.
enough to see that it says police.
Or at
Why?
night, they on the you know, on the side by the median.
Aren't you supposed to protect and serve?
Man.
Protect and serve. How am I feeling protected when you're hiding out?
They
How do
put
I
me
feel
in danger
protected?
because they in my way, and you ride up
Bro,
on them, and they
listen,
right on the
man,
side.
it's
So
such a hypocritical system. It's just it again, demolish. Just destroy it, rebuild it.
And you know
That's
that,
the
I know
only
that scares a lot of people. I know that scares a lot of people to hear defund the police. And my thing is like, defunding does not mean there's no money for police. Y'all okay with them defunding education? Y'all okay
every
with them defunding healthcare?
All day, every day. Yeah.
But you like, we got choppers riding around. You know how much a chopper costs?
$88 a minute.
$88 a minute for you
To
to
fly a chopper.
surveil streets.
People don't realize. I've worked in the military as well, so I understand. Like the cost to fly over a
Yeah.
city is expensive
Fuel.
as fuck.
Like,
Yo,
just
the manpower, everything, to having someone in the tower. Listen, if y'all listen, $88 a minute is where your money is going when these helicopters flying around y'all neighborhoods.
And that's not even
surveillance.
maintenance on the chopper.
That's not.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, the cost of things could be going to something better. How about that cost for that helicopter goes to mental health screening for people trying to become police officers, or social work training? Because as a social worker, like, we were, you know, social workers go into houses with a pen and a pad.
There it is.
You go into houses where you have people who are, you know, have mental illnesses, They have substance abuse issues. They have anger issues. And you go into these houses and you're expected to de-escalate situations. You're expected to take people's children, you know, and with nothing. And so
they had the knowledge.
Yeah,
that's what they had. The skills and the knowledge,
you have
which
empathetic
police officers don't have.
Listening, you have, okay, I can step away from this and come back.
Police officers don't have that. They're here to solve a problem and whatever they deem the problem being.
And you know, and some of the things like speeding, like, you know, things of that nature, like why are people getting killed because I was speeding? Why am I getting killed for supposedly using a counterfeit bill? Like, how y'all even know it was counterfeit? Who did the testing on that?
Who did the test on site to see that?
And
My
so,
God.
you know, those things right there, or supposedly selling a loose cigarette. That's not a, you know, something punishable by death. It's not even something I'm sure you can be arrested for. I'm not sure about the legalities of you even being arrested for that. Ticketed and keep on pushing.
At the very most.
Since we so ruled, everybody say we ruled by the money and we ruled by, you know, being a capitalistic system. That's not true with the police force. Because if that was the case, ticket people, make them pay a fine, keep on moving.
Oh, that's a whole nother system. That circus, the court system.
It's just, you know,
it's all about money. That's totally different. That's where that quota comes in at, because they need to make a certain amount of money. They know how to bring it in. It's calculated. There's algorithms based around how many people you need to pull over per day to get them
just
into
like
the jail
with the
system
prison
to fund
systems,
the
you
prison.
know,
It's an industrial complex.
It definitely is. It's a slave system. You know, they purposely left that in the Constitution that you can be enslaved if you are in prison. Why would you leave a slavery option? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you leave a slave? I'm gonna just leave slavery right here, just in case.
Just in case.
It's systematic, and I appreciate your time because. And if you have anything that you want to close with.
I did want to say one more thing. There's a little town. I call it a little town. It's a little city in New York, in the Bronx, called Co-op City. If anyone's familiar with it, you can look it up. It was started by it was a Jewish community, essentially. You know what I mean? Started by Jews and like funded everything. They had their own power source. I remember when the power went out, I think it was like 97, I was a kid. Everywhere else except for Co-op City. They have their own police force. They have their own fire department.
Wow.
Yeah. They recently moved out of that area. And now it's being like a regular open apartment complex, but it used to be like literally you had to get.
You gotta know somebody.
Yeah, you gotta know somebody to get in there. But you know, just because the times have changed, you know, what I mean, they've moved on. But like the blueprint is out there. That's what I'm saying.
But that's what we really, you know, need to look into. Everybody wants to fix a system that's not made for us to thrive in, instead of saying, how do we create a system outside of their system?
Yeah.
Like, how do we say, okay, you know, that's your system, cool. We over here. This is our land. This is what we're gonna do here.
Listen, I went to the Million Man March, and this was my first time seeing. Is it Nation of Islam, right? So I saw. This was afterwards. Everybody was dispersing. Everybody was getting, you know, kind of breaking up, and we were going our own way. And we were blocking the road, but the road was closed, by the way. But apparently we were blocking, so the police was trying to like clear us out. And I saw these brothers, I mean, these militant brothers, man, they walked up and told the police, "Sir, we will govern our own people." And they turned around, and like four or five of them just turned around and said, "Make a path." And everybody just moved.
And we can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you respect that level of authority because it's respect.
It's respect. It's not
fair.
You know, you're not being treated like an animal. You being respected. And it's like, hey, let them through. Y'all, let
us police our own, man. Let us govern ourselves. We can do it. We've done it before.
And, you know, the excessive force, especially when used against Black, Indigenous, and people of color, is outrageous. And it's got to stop. And I appreciate you for giving me some insight into your experience. Because I didn't want it to just seem, you know, because it could have just been me being emotional.
Yeah.
But no, I'm so glad and I thank you. And plus, you're in IT. You know, a lot of people that think of someone in IT, and I'm glad you mentioned that, they don't think of someone who looks like you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I've always broke them all.
they're thinking of something else, but that is the reality, is that we are everywhere. We are in every facet of every business, on every level. Many times we are the innovators in that business.
Thanks.
So I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And if it's anything you want to add?
That's it.
All right, cool. Well, y'all, once again, Loudmouth Ghetto Girl. Hey.
Loudmouth Ghetto Girl. Loudmouth Ghetto. Loudmouth Ghetto Girl. Loudmouth Ghetto.
We might just get hit with the Rico. That's how they get on my people. They take somebody like Huey and they make him seem like he Nino. Speaking the truth could be lethal. Too much profit in being deceitful. Said he was selling the cure, so they gave his ass the placebo. Look what they did to Baraka. They still got a price on the SADA. And I still got bros whose only goals is copping the 9-6 Impala. I'm trying to spin with my folks, trying to make sure none of us go broke. Like I'm at the line and it's overtime. During game 5 I can't choke. Inhaling Gorilla Glue smoke. Killer bars like Murder She Wrote. Call me Jessica Fletcher, Ladena La Heifer, as long as you don't call me broke. Understand that I am no joke. Put money on all of my quotes. If it's sink or swim, I'ma get it in. And if all else fails, I can float. I'm